soon as I start talking, Max starts doing that. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. All my books are linked down below in the description. I have 9 out, 10 out, depending on who you ask. And by who, I mean me. I don't know. We're currently working on Marionettes book 4, Ruthless Ends, which is coming out in September. It's so interesting how the conversations around genres change, and there's new like terms all the time. Something newer that I've noticed is the way people have been distinguishing between fantasy romance, romantic fantasy, and romantasy. Don't they all sound the same to you? It's confusing as heck for me, but I think it really comes down to, is your book more romance with like some fantasy, or is it fantasy with some romance? But it's not like fantasy with just like a small romance subplot. Like it's like half and half. So anyway, I'm feeling like the better way to describe my books might be romantic fantasy rather than fantasy romance, because the plot is still the main focus. Fantasy is still like a pretty strong element. It's not all about the romance, but the romance is a very significant part of the story. That's a tangent. That's what's been on my mind. It's a Thursday. I just got back from walking to Starbucks and I am feeling so good about this book, which is crazy to say because the last several vlogs that's the opposite of what I have been saying. I have officially finished the draft. We have the whole book on paper now, and now I'm going in and making some little tweaks. Honestly, today I might just send the book to the remaining second opinions that I'm gonna get, which would be the second half of the book goes to my beta reader who already has it and my critique partner, and then I have a new beta reader who's gonna get the whole thing. And I'll just like make a note being like, I know that this is introduced and it's not consistent throughout. I'm still working on that, but I don't want to make you wait to have the book for that case, because honestly I'm going to do that alongside the line edits as I go through the book, so it's going to take me a while to get there. I just feel like I have this weight lifted off my shoulders where I'm no longer like freaking out about if I'm gonna be able to get this book done in time, because it hasn't been like, it wasn't as rough as I thought it was. Like it doesn't need as much work as I thought it did, but I'm really hoping I'm gonna be able to still feel like this after I get the beta reader feedback back. But if they point out something good and they're right, like we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So anyway, welcome to the new vlog. We're gonna be working on this all day, except as soon as I'm done filming this clip, I'm going to sit down and film our self-pub 101 video for Patreon. I also need to finish editing the podcast, and I'll probably just post that today. 2 orders of business, so I don't forget to say them at some point during the vlog. If you want to sign up to be notified of when the Marionettes Kickstarter goes live, that link is down below. It's only going to be live for 30 days, so to make sure you don't miss it, the link. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you can only get there. Yeah. And you can also pre-order the Ruthless Ends audiobook. That's all. We'll talk later. Self-pub 101 video filmed. Half of the podcast edited. Now I'm moving over to an editing client. I'm doing a manuscript evaluation, but it's like really short. It's only like a handful of chapters. It's not a full manuscript. I've already read through it all once. I like read through it on my phone while I was getting my hair done the other day. So now I'm going back through and writing up my reader report and rereading it because it's short and I wasn't like fully paying attention when I was getting my hair done. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So I'm hoping to finish this editing client this afternoon, finish the podcast, and I'm like writing up my notes to send along to the beta readers of like what I'm looking for, what kind of feedback would be helpful, what to ignore right now because I'm not worried about it right now. And then I also am like reading through the draft of Ruthless Ends. The problem is I've read through the beginning half several times. Like I'm very familiar with that because I've like edited that already. The second half of all of this new stuff, I don't think I've read through it like all together a single time. So I haven't like really been able to gauge the pacing and read all of the new content that I've written together. So I feel like I need to do that. I just need like a good chunk of time to be able to do that. And so I'm like wavering back and forth on whether or not I want to send this draft to betas before I've done that. And like actually, if I've never even read my book all the way through myself once, I'm like hesitant to send it before I do that. So that's where we're at. Sleepy kitty number 1. Sleepy kitty lump number 2. I also just want to get up and move around. The only like movement I've had today is my walk to Starbucks. So I might set up my little standing desk here and use my little stepper At least like that's easy to do while I'm editing the podcast at the very least. It's a little after 1. So far I am in the client book I'm working on for my reread. Finished editing the podcast. We're gonna take a workout break and then we'll get back to it. I'm now very sweaty. I'm hoping you can't tell, and I will not be able to feel my arms tomorrow. It's excellent. We're moving on to uploading the podcast for this month. So I like to kind of like explain what all the topics are in the description. So now I have to remember what all the questions were that I answered. June podcast topics include, what did we talk about? I literally just edited this. Yes. What to know before starting a series, how I plotted my series, how many beta readers to use, sub-genres I'm considering writing, contacting book influencers, not publishing, Project Z, and more. One thing off the to-do list. Okay, now I'm kind of in like a video editing mood, so I think I'm gonna sit down and edit the Self-Pub 101 video for this month, which I think it's kind of like a vlog style for that one as well. And it's basically just a behind the scenes of everything that's going on in my publishing life, my author life, like the decisions that I'm making and why I'm making them, my current strategies, any ways that I'm planning on pivoting because of certain market things, how new marketing things have been going for me, what I've tried, what I'm doing, just kind of like a in this moment check-in. This is everything I'm doing as an author. This is what I've noticed with publishing. This is what's working for me. This is what has not been working for me. And here's how I'm changing my strategies because of that. So I'm hoping people will find it interesting. I wish that authors that I followed would make this kind of video because I would love to watch that kind of thing from other people. If you know of anyone who does that, well, let me know. We're gonna go get comfy somewhere, I think, and edit, maybe sit in my favorite new mustard yellow chair. I feel like I really need to rearrange the furniture around here now to accommodate that guy. I just haven't done it yet. I don't really know like how I would reorganize things. I'm not an interior designer. I've never been good at this kind of thing. Anyway, we're gonna go edit. Dean said, not today, you snooze, you lose. The glare right now, but officially edited. Ended up being about 18 minutes long. It's almost 4 o'clock, and now the Self-Pub video and the podcast are now live on Patreon. I might get some more work done later this evening, but I also might be done for the day. I'm happy with how much I got done, and I just definitely need a break, so we're gonna hang out for a while. The only thing, honestly, if I do get more work done tonight, it'll probably be me working on my own book, Ruthless Ends, because I honestly haven't really touched it today, and I'm a little bummed about that. But that won't be for several more hours. I think we're gonna do some like meal prep, clean up the kitchen, that kind of stuff. Mr. Dean, you're gonna stay here all night? Oh my goodness. You know what I'm really in the mood for? Protein pancakes. You never want to see me again. Do you know? Look how good this one looks. I ended up also making a little like oatmeal bake kind of thing. I hate, like literally there are a few things in this world that I hate more than making breakfast in the morning. So having something pre-made is excellent. Don't look at how messy my stove is. I just cleaned the rest of it. Everything else looks nice. The dishwasher's running.